You need to have a study plan. Don't wing this. Like, don't wake up in the morning and be like, okay, we'll read today. Oh, let's not read today. We'll do it tomorrow. You need to come up with a plan. Hey, welcome to the last video in the exam series. All right. Today, we are going to talk about how to prepare for standardized tests. So I've given you like a long list of the exams that exist for undergrad or graduate school. And so the question is, how do you actually prepare? Now, to start with, there's no one way to prepare for an exam. In fact, the advice is always to do what has worked best for you in the past. However, there are some tips that could help, really polish your prep. If you haven't heard them before, or you have not thought about them, or you just want to hear me explain it and hopefully more light bulbs will go off in your head, either way, you are welcome. All right, so preparing for standardized tests, the very first thing is you have to have enough time. Yes. Now, as a Nigerian, before I came to the US, the way we had exams back home was very different from the SAT when I took it the first time. Yes, it was not the same method of exam, the way questions were set or the way it was structured or anything that I had taken before. It didn't mean that I didn't know the math topics, for example, but it was just the testing process was so different. And so if you don't give yourself enough time to actually prepare to take the test, so like practice questions, practice lots of questions, or go through the books that are associated with it, or take a class if it's available. If you don't give yourself that time, you may not do as well as you need to do to get into your desired school or to get some kind of merit scholarship. This is very, very important. You don't want to be one of those people who takes an exam like this within 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month of not preparing for it. All right. The very next thing is that you want to decide whether you're going to do this by yourself or whether you're going to register for a class. There is no one answer to it, none at all, because it could go either way, depending on your preference and what works for you. Personally, I'm not big on sitting down in class to learn. I prefer self-directed learning and having, a class as a resource as needed. Some people are not like that. Some people prefer the one-on-one human interaction. Do what works best for you. But you also have to decide pretty early what method you want to use so that you can pace yourself and plan accordingly. Which brings me to my next point. You need to have a study plan. Don't wing this. Like, don't wake up in the morning and be like, okay, we'll read today. Oh, let's not read today. We'll do it tomorrow. You need to come up with a plan of what you're going to cover today, what you're going to cover tomorrow. You could have days where you don't cover anything, but those are scheduled break days. So you want to really take your time out and plan out your study process. If your goal is to get through a book, then plan out how you're going to get through the book. If your goal is to finish 1,000 questions, then plan out how you're going to finish 1,000 questions. But having a plan, honestly, in this case, is far, far, far better than just going with the flow. Now, there are some people who go with the flow and it works for them, but it's not a good strategy when you're really, really trying to score very high on a test. All right. The next point is commitment. So you've given yourself enough time. You've created a study plan. You've decided whether you want to do this yourself or if you want to take a class. The next thing for you to do is to commit to the process, like real commitment. I mean, the days you feel like it and the days you don't feel like it, the days that you have plenty time and the days you don't have enough time. If you tell yourself you're going to study for this exam 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day, come rain, come sun, put yourself in that position to study 1 hour a day. If you make up your mind that you're going to do 10 questions a day, do 10 questions a day. Whether it's favorable or not, this is what it will do for you. It will set you on a routine that honestly just pushes you to succeed. Is it every single time that you're going to read that it would sink in and make sense and all that? No. But what is even worse is when you give yourself days and days and days and days without actually checking back in with your content or with your study process. That's a lot worse. This is one thing that I live by personally myself. If I want to lose weight, for example, this is just pure example. If I wanted to lose weight and I said, okay, I will exercise a day. If I do 1 push-up a day, it's better than none. Even if my goal was to do 10 push-ups, doing 1 is always better than 0. So please, 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 please keep that in mind. All right. The next advice is get a study group. If you have a group of friends who are in this process with you, it's very helpful for people that can help you be accountable, help support you. You guys could go through materials together, and it really, really helps tie in all that you do by yourself when you have a group of people who you can do it together with. Now, I don't mean a group of people where you can just talk and laugh for all day, or people just gather and fantasize about what life will be when you are in university or when you travel out. Very, very unproductive. Very unproductive. You get my point, right? Make sure it's a legit good study group. All right. The next tip is eat, rest, repeat. Eat, rest, repeat. Now, studying is only good when your body has time to recover from it. So if you want to do this crash marathon, I don't know, mate. I don't know. I do not know. You can't do that. You need to give your body time to heal and to get back to the zone when you put it through pressure. So this goes back to my very first point about enough time, because if you have 1 month or 2 weeks and you're trying to put your head into the book, but if you give yourself enough space and time, then you can rest in between and repeat that process of learning and resting, and you'll see how things will just be flowing very well. All right. The last tip is to plan something fun. Plan something fun that you want to look forward to. This could be attached to milestones. So for example, if there are 15 chapters in the book, you can tell yourself that every 2 chapters you're going to go out for ice cream. And it's something that you set to look forward to. Or if you're giving up maybe entertainment for the study process, you can say, okay, at the end of every 3 chapters, I'll watch a movie. Plan something fun and keep it in between your study processes, and then that would help you look forward to something exciting as you're studying. All right, so these are some tips that I recommend to help you with your study process and standardized test. And I know somebody is asking, Winnie, what is the perfect time to prepare for a standardized test? There is no perfect time. None. Absolutely none. But people have recommended anywhere between 3 to 6 months. That's a sweet spot of 3 months is just enough time if you're almost there and you just need some intensive work. 6 months is when you come into the process as, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what is going on. But you don't want it much longer after that, because it just becomes a drag and your brain just starts to just get tired of information that you're receiving, same thing all day, every day. So I hope this is helpful. I wish you the best of the best, and thank you to everyone who has watched the 3 videos in this series. I'll definitely be coming back with another series that I hope will be just as exciting. And I want to hear from you. What are you studying for? What are you planning to do? What's the next phase for you? Are you studying? Are you planning to study? Have you applied for the exam? Are you planning to apply for the exam? Let me know in the comment section or my DM or email, and I would really, really, really love to wish you well. All right, until we chat again, my name is Winnie. I am the founder of Winie Student World, which is an online platform for international students and young professionals. We want to see international students and young professionals just shine. All right, if you haven't followed or subscribed, please, I don't know what your problem is. I don't know what your problem is. Until we talk again. you.